A major investment in the maritime sector. The Port Authority empowering licensees. And a group of Chinese migrants found at sea.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, a big investment unveiled in the island's maritime sector. 2 Bahamians are heading this investment, and it is viewed as an expression of faith in the future of the Grand Bahama economy. Italia Hall has that story.
Falcon Marine and Logistics companies located on the Fishing Hole Road in the former Associated Grocers building. A Bahamian couple, Curtis and Glenette Fowler, is behind the $1.6 million investment. The duo is in partnership with Juan Sancho of Blue Parrot Offshore, and the company has a total of 16 employees, and that number is expected to increase. Managing Director and Vice President Glenette Fowler says the company is also in the process of establishing a technical institute for Grand Bahama.
You know, sometimes in life you have to take risk. I have held a certain position at a company for about 6 to 7 years, about 7 years when I resigned, and I took a risk leaving that comfy, cozy job because I know that I had to make it work. My husband had a vision, and I had to buy into that vision, and here we are today. Mr. Sancho, listen to me present how we can really impact Grand Bahama, and he bought it, for lack of a better word. And we have formed alliances so that we can ensure that we are doing our best to boost the economy that has need for it greatly.
Managing Director Juan Sancho says he saw this project as an amazing opportunity.
Our focus is to increase our volume in local labor, increase our know-how with all the Bahamian people, and try to add value on our synergies. So it's not the first time what I do in those things. We did it before in other countries, and we succeed. And I believe here is even more faith and strength between Curtis and Glenette.
The Deputy Prime Minister, K. Peter Turnquist, calling the investment a proud moment for Grand Bahama.
This represents what we work for. What we're trying to create for our country. Upwardly mobile, intelligent Bahamians who have a vision for the future of our country. On behalf of the government, we will do whatever it is that we can do to ensure the success of this operation. And certainly where we have to, we will lean where we have to lean to ensure that our partners also similarly cooperate to ensure that this project gets moving and that is successful. All around us, we see success in this industry.
After the official opening ceremony, government officials and dignitaries were taken on a tour of the building. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, Senator, the Honorable Jasmine Turner Darius was also part of that ceremony. The senator spoke on behalf of the Minister of Labor, the Honorable Dion Folks. She says Falcon Marine and Logistics Management has the full support of the Ministry of Labor.
Minister Folks, keen on the educational and vocational advancement of Bahamians, is excited about Glenette Fowler's vision to create a technical training academy and moved by the full support she has from her spouse and business partner Curtis. Minister is optimistic about future meetings with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and corporate Grand Bahama related to partnership with Falco to realize this much-needed academy. Minister and our department would rather see more Bahamians become qualified and less work permits required.
Senator, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson says the investment is another indication that investor confidence is returning.
The major investments in the Grand Lucayan. We've seen the major investment that is about to take off and be approved in the Old Gin project, which is the Grand Palm Beach acquisitions. We've seen the much talked about Oban Energy's oil refinery and oil storage facility. We've seen the expansion of the West End projects, the Blue Marlin Cove and the Seawood Fishing Village. We've seen the multi-million-dollar expansion right down the road at Pharmachem, and we've seen repairs that are going to get started at the Start Oil facility that will employ a number of Bahamians. We've seen a new government housing subdivision in East End, inclusive of new water infrastructure and a new cemetery, which was just toured by the Deputy Prime Minister.
Meantime, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is investing in the business sector as well. Today, the port hosted a conference for licensees designed to boost the excitement in the business sector and empower entrepreneurs. Italia Hall was there.
The Freeport Economic Empowerment Development Conference was held at the Kenai Media Center. There were a total of 5 presenters. That number included Bahamian and international business owners. President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Ian Roll, says seminars like these are put on by the GBPA to empower licensees and residents.
A number of the businesses, business persons, and people on the island, so they can take it back to their introduce it into their personal lives or into their business lives to make the environment a better place to live.
Speaker Jason Hunter focused on the Blue Ocean strategy.
My message here is to help local businesses understand that they have the creative confidence and the creative capabilities to actually create breakthrough ideas with the Grand Bahama Port Authority over the next few months, so they can incorporate these tools and then implement them on their own.
Alternative Dispute Resolution was a major sponsor of the event. Speaker Reno Miller says it's important for all businesses and organizations to focus on conflict resolution and saying the word sorry.
Sorry then diffuses the potential conflict, and then employees, leaders in the organization are then able to move on and then really, become productive, because that's why businesses exist, to be productive.
Dr. Donovan Moxie spoke about a mobile assist platform and the benefits.
Mobile assist platform does is allows any business or organization to have a mobile presence within 24 to 48 hours, both on the Android and the iOS devices. What it also does is it has built-in communication functions, push notification functions. We have geofencing. We also have mobile commerce, things that we can do as well.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
8 small business owners benefiting this week from the government's Business Evolution Grants program. The businesses range from craft and TV production to perfume and local bath and body lotions to tourism-based tours. The operators receiving a check at the office of the Prime Minister yesterday. Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, encouraging the small business operators to persevere.
There are positive signs in Freeport if you choose to see them. And I want to encourage you, to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming up. I want you to be aware of some of the opportunities that are coming up. And I'm sure that you are aware that the government is working its hardest to ensure that the Lucayan Strip comes back on stream. And so I believe that we are on track to making that happen. So much widely talked about Oban project, and I've said to people that we believe that this is a project that will be good for Grand Bahama, that if it comes on stream, that we believe that it has many benefits for Grand Bahamians. And so, those people in the Providence who are already working, could say what they like, but I believe it is a good project that Grand Bahamians will be able to benefit from.
He says there are a number of projects on the drawing board which can be viewed as positive signs for the economy.
I don't say these things to say that Grand Bahama has turned any corner. I don't say these things to say that, oh, Grand Bahama is all doing well. I don't say it for that purpose. I say it because we do need to know what positive things are happening in Grand Bahama. But we also need to know what opportunities there are for us in Grand Bahama. So that's the reason why we want to say these things are happening. Think out of the box. Don't limit yourself to the old ways of doing business or the old ways of thinking.
In other news, 6 Chinese nationals handed over to immigration officers by the crew of U.S. Coast Guard vessel William Flores. The 4 men and 2 women were intercepted in international waters in what the authorities say appeared to have been a human smuggling operation gone awry. Reports say the Chinese, all ages 17 to 35, were found on board a Florida-registered cabin cruiser private yacht, which had begun taking on water. The boat's captain was a Grand Bahamian man, and an Ecuadorian and a Haitian man were also on board. According to reports, the captain claimed that they left from a marina in Miami on a fishing trip on Saturday, but encountered engine problems. The Chinese were turned over to local immigration officers and will be deported to China. As for the Bahamian captain, along with the Haitian national and the Ecuadorian man, they were all detained in custody by the authorities in Florida pending further investigations and possible charges for human smuggling. 40-year-old Dorcelin Dormes, a Bahamian man of Haitian descent, appeared before Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson today to answer to charges of harboring an illegal person. It is alleged that on Friday of last week, with its deliberate intent to evade apprehension by the Department of Immigration, Dormes knowingly harbored an illegal person at his residence on South Mall Drive. He pled guilty to the charge and was ordered to pay a $3,000 fine or serve 2 years at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Dormes was given until tomorrow afternoon to pay the fine, or he will be sent to New Providence to begin serving his court-imposed custodial sentence. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.